What's up, guys? This is Crypto with James talking to you today about Chiliz. I really like Chiliz. I don't think you can underestimate Chiliz. Excuse me. And the reason for that is I think they've really nailed down a niche that they are fundamentally far and away ahead of every other crypto project out there. Combine that with, I think, very astute advertising and potential, and a particular clamoring for the niche that they're in. I think this has real potential. I also want to talk, and I think this can do big gains. I also want to talk about something Binance has done very recently, which is big news and possibly will help some people that have lost funds regain them. But we'll talk about that as well in this vid. Before I get into it though, if you are brand new to the channel, these are the first 26 coins that I actually spoke about when I made the channel. They're also the first 26 coins I owned as well when I made the channel. Had you put in just $100 into each of these coins when I release videos about them, and you did everything wrong as an investor, you ignored them straight for 2 years, never paid attention to them, never sold them, you'd still be in profit for 6.3k doing everything wrong. That's profit, 6.3k. But if you just sold these coins last year, when the markets rocketed up, that $100 into each, that $2,600 investment would have netted you a profit of 123 grand. Now, I sold my coins off last year. These are not what I hold. If you want to see the coins that I actually own, go to copymycrypto.com. There I share my entire portfolio. I let the members know anytime I buy or sell a coin. We have tutorials set up for people that are brand new to crypto, same ones that I send friends. And look, there's a history of success here. You know, the gains that some of these coins made, 50x's, 60x's. There's a lot that I'm not including as well. There's a couple that later on, after these first 26, that went up a couple hundred times. Phantom is the one that I did a Udemy course about. I said this was the best crypto investment of 2020. No one on YouTube, literally no one on YouTube in 2020 was talking about Phantom. I said it would 100x minimum, and it did a 677x. Now, obviously, that is big, and 2 grand in that would have netted you a 1.3 million profit. I will find another Phantom. When I do, I'm not going to do a Udemy course. I'm going to go onto the site and tell the members about it. If you want to find out what the next big coin is going to be, if you want to make those kind of gains, go read the site. Understand as well, everything on the site, you can go through the YouTube channel's history and verify for yourself. And maybe I'll see you there. Right, Chiliz. Chiliz finally just below 11 cents. But we'll call it 11 cents because it's damn close. Market cap of 672 million. Circulating supply, 70% of it's out. Now, Chiliz hit heights of sort of 80 cents or 75 cents or so in the previous bull cycle. And, never really dropped too dramatically low. So it did about 70x, give or take. Well, you can make 100x. It did 100x from the real lows of 2020. Now, Chiliz is fundamentally the best setup crypto for sports. They lead the digital currency industry in sports and entertainment. They have their blockchain-based platform Socios, which allows users to participate in the governance of their favorite sports teams. Now, fan tokens have taken quite a beating over the past year, mainly because of the way in which they've been marketed. Quite simply, like advertisers for whether it's Man City's fan token or Barcelona's or Arsenal's fan token. The advertising was not presenting the risk to people that are buying them. So the advertising was not going, by the way, these can fluctuate in price. So they might be worth a lot less than what you paid. Which is one of the biggest reasons fan tokens have taken a hit. The other reason is they've not really truly provided fans with the say that they would like. Now, I don't think you can have fans have a say in who you buy as a sports team and stuff like that. I don't think that's reasonable. You know, you can't have the fans making decisions about transfers. That's the manager's job. But maybe a bit better. They could do a bit better in terms of governance. You know, not just the songs that the teams run out to. You know, potentially there's other areas of governance within the game that they could really push. But what is unique about Chiliz is entirely focused on sport. They actually own a ton of FC Barcelona's revenue shares now. Like, not revenue shares, sorry, TV rights. So Chiliz has got a sort of well-established TV channel that they can effectively market whenever they want. They were hugely marketed around the World Cup. And I think they're pretty well prepared. Look, sport is something that to a degree has an overlap with crypto, because sport has huge amounts of sport. Betting crypto to a retail investor is a bet, a gamble. And I think the overlap there is enough that we'll probably see a lot of retail investors getting into Chiliz before a lot of other cryptos. Now, I like the concept. I do think they really need to try and solidify into sort of NFT, like playing card NFTs, because I think they're well prepared for that. But it looks, I don't know, I can't remember if it's called No Rare or Looks Rare or something, that are pretty ahead in terms of football cards or digital football cards. But I actually thought that was a real niche that Chiliz could exploit, and they haven't got round to it yet. But what they've got, I mean, Chiliz is the fuel for socios. I mean, there's your World Cup winner, Lionel Messi, right at the forefront. Obviously, PSG have their fan token, which is why they can get Lionel Messi. Although in a couple of years, I'm sure that will switch over to Mbappe. Not getting into a football debate now, but I'm just saying, like, that will happen. So a lot of fans are going to end up going on to socios. As a result, they'll probably end up getting used to buying Chiliz so that they can buy their football club's fan token. And, you know, they have a really solid array of fan tokens now. You know, they've got a lot of the big European teams. They're starting to even get rugby involved now. Leicester Tigers are one of the biggest, most successful rugby union teams around. You've got Barcelona's football club. You've got Atletico Madrid. You know, I don't need to reel through the list, but there's plenty there. And I don't see this not growing, because I think fundamentally football clubs will understand there's revenue here that they can earn. You know, Lionel Messi actually took like 1 million PSG tokens as like a side payment for going to PSG. So there's money here in these markets, clearly. And I think a lot of football teams will jump on the bandwagon because it makes sense to do so, to try and bolster your revenue, especially after the last couple of years where a lot of sports clubs have struggled with the revenue for obvious reasons. So I think this is a niche that's got to grow. I think they're comfortably far and away the most advanced in terms of this niche, by far and away the most ahead in terms of this niche. Clearly that's agreed, as Ethereum whales have been piling up Chiliz token. So whale tracking platform Whale Stats reported that action was taken by the top 5,000 ETH whales, stacking up tons of Chiliz. So, and when you actually look at the data, you know, you've got some big whales now. I mean, I know Binance, some of the biggest, obviously the Chiliz holdings in Binance. But we do have some that are some just anonymous wallets that have 1% of the supplies here knocking about. There's one that's got 7%, but I'm presuming that has got to have some relation to Chiliz or Socios or something. But you can see there's some big holders of Chiliz knocking about. And the reason for that is, whales obviously have the same belief, which is long term, sport is a winning is a winning retail investment in terms of use in terms of viewership, and the overlap between betting and crypto is there. Retail investors will go with something that they're close to familiar with, and if you're a sports fan that does sports bets, you bet on a football match or whatever, there's enough overlap that those people are quite likely to enter into something like crypto, and they'll probably enter into something that has an overlap with their own interests, like Chiliz. And the data shows that Chiliz is being picked up lots. The data shows that, and to be fair, Chiliz are also adding to their ecosystem. They've got something called Game Use now, which is a way for people businesses to effectively secure and authenticate sports memorabilia, then deploy it for resale and redemption on Chiliz Chain 2.0. So again, it's a nice way of sort of securing goods and services, goods really, for sports memorabilia. Sports memorabilia is a hugely profitable niche if you can get in on it. That is a big ask, though. Chiliz also have their Chili Exchange, which is the fan token exchange, so you can go straight onto Chili's website and start trading. And you can see, based on the why is that not working? You can see based on the charts and based on the prices, like the teams that you would expect to be the most valuable are the most valuable. And that just makes sense again. Right now PSG probably are the most valuable because they're probably the richest owned team in the world, or certainly close, that Man City. And what's interesting about this as well is obviously if we start seeing particular teams having huge amounts of success, they're probably likely to rally quite well. This is the Argentina team, the Argentina's National Football Association. And obviously, this is like a 15-minute chart, but if we go to a daily or something, when they won the World Cup, boom, 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 huge price spike. I mean, look at that. That went up 47%. And actually, when you look at it from where it was, it ended up doing like basically a 4x, which is pretty damn good. So there is also that element of, if you know sport, Chiliz could be a really profitable niche for you. And I don't see, I see them so strong in this niche, so strong in sports and entertainment. I think they're going to end up doing a few particular a few things in particular. I think they're going to buy up more TV rights of teams that are struggling in terms of revenue or struggling in terms of debt and trying to offset their debt. I think that will provide better opportunities for marketing. I think Chiliz have really pushed on marketing in a sensible way. While they didn't exactly do anything crazy in terms of a run during the World Cup, we're in a very significant bear cycle right now, so that accounts for that. But then over the course of the next couple of years, I'm expecting to see huge growth in terms of the amount of football teams, the amount of sports teams, whether that's rugby union, whether that's football or soccer if you're an American, although it's clearly football, whether it's American football, whether it's NBA. I think we're going to see a huge explosion in fan tokens, and Chiliz is the thing that's going to underpin that. As a result, Chiliz will rally. Combine that with effective marketing. Why can't they hit $2? Now, next bull cycle probably doesn't really kick in or get moving till the very end of 2023, if not, first or second quarter of 2024. Probably more like first or second quarter of 2024. So there's plenty of time to accumulate Chiliz. Because overall, I don't see how they don't grow. And $2 a coin is what I still believe they can hit. And that would put it at a market cap of about, right now, 13 billion, which is very high. But when you factor in that they will be partnered with probably all the biggest sports franchises in the world by then, 13 billion does feel undervalued, if anything. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you are a returning viewer, hit the subscribe button. It helps the channel so damn much. And that's enough of a reason. But my videos will also make you money. There's a good reason as well. So hit the subscribe button, then you won't miss it. And if you want to see the coins I own right now, go to copymycrypto.com. Read the site. Everything on the site can be verified on the history of the YouTube channel. On the site, I share my portfolio. I do videos every day talking about the markets. I let the members know every single time in real time when I buy or sell a crypto. I have tutorials set up for beginners. I have a history of success. No one on YouTube talked about Phantom. Everyone else missed it. I did not miss it. I talked about it at 0.5%, did a whole Udemy course about it, said it would 100x. It did a 677x. When I find the next one, the members will find out about it, and they'll find out what I'm putting into it. If you want to make those kind of gains, you want to find out about the next big gainer in the market, then go read the site, guys. The link's on screen right now, and maybe I'll see you there. Last thing, Binance bought Voyager. So Binance.us have agreed to buy Voyager's assets for $1.02 billion. Now, Voyager were actually agreed to be bought by FTX, but obviously FTX all of a sudden went bankrupt. So Binance has agreed to buy it. They're considering an additional 20 million in incremental value as well. CZ said last month that the exchange's US wing would be making a fresh bid for Voyager. They're going to make a good faith deposit 10 mil and will reimburse Voyager for certain expenses up to 15 mil. Voyager will also seek the approval of the bankruptcy court on January 5th. Now, the native Voyager token obviously skyrocketed over 32% after Binance won the bid. Binance's BNB token also rose over 1% on the news. Woohoo! 1%. And this news comes probably quite welcomed after the sort of scrutiny of the auditor pulling out of crypto last week. And, we'll see what happens here. It's a bold move by, it is a bold move by Voyager. They're sending a signal to the market that they have a strong resilience on the current bear market. The time will tell if they're bluffing or they're not solvent, but also strong in their balance sheet. Look, I think Binance are fine. I don't think there's going to be any concern, but no one should have funds just sitting on exchanges. Not anything you can't afford to lose. And we'll see. We'll see if those people that had accounts with Voyager are going to manage to get any of their funds back. It's just a waiting game on that, but I think it's probably unlikely. I think there'll be a certain way to sort of provide funds back, but I don't think it's going to be at the level that a lot of people's funds were prior to Voyager's collapse. But we'll see. Only time will tell. Interesting for the space. It's no bad thing. Anyway, that's it from me, guys. Take it easy. Bye-bye.